Hello, and welcome to part 2 of my nail polish rules. Unlike part 1, these rules are not useful to other people, and this will be only mildly unhinged, I hope. I don't think there was anything revolutionary about the rules in part 1, just that they happen to be mine. I also don't think you will find anything in this part that will change your relationship to the world. I would encourage you to see this part especially as just entertainment. I'm prefacing this way because I'm about to express some opinions that may seem harsh. Understand that I am only expressing a bunch of preferences that I have. This is not about me saying you are wrong or bad. I may also be playing into that for comedic effect. We're all here to have fun, I hope, me in making these, and hopefully you in watching them. And yes, I do enjoy making these. Sometimes I do feel the pressure of time, but this is also an exercise in escaping perfectionism for me. If I only have a week to do something, I can't indulge in a bunch of research or propose doing a drone shot that zooms across the landscape and hones down to a macro shot of my nails while I hold an icy margarita. I'm trying instead to see this as a snapshot in time regarding how I've chosen to make videos. But also, thank you for watching them. I'm thrilled to have as many subscribers as I have. I went into this literally thinking no one would watch anything I made. I was keeping the bar as low as possible, but they are getting watched. Okay, enough blather, on to the other rules. I want to start by going over the rule that I delayed in the other video. I believe I referred to it as don't buy polishes you will not wear. This one is a bit of a hydra, so I'm going to break this into parts for the sanity of us all. There are interlocking behaviors that I have that led to this being condensed into that one sentence. This is the type of rule that I could only implement after collecting polish for a while. At the beginning, you think you're going to love everything that catches your eye, but that isn't quite how it works. Maybe you got catfished by a particularly beautiful but deceiving swatch photo. Maybe you thought you would like it, but there's just something about it in person that isn't enamoring in the way that you want. Maybe you don't really have a firm idea of what you like yet, and you're experimenting with your purchases. These are the types of problems I'm negotiating with this rule. The first aspect of this rule. I often love the look of reds on other people, but struggle to put them in my cart or actually buy them. But why? As a child and a teenager, typically feminine items were pushed on me very, very hard. I think the entire world found me insufficiently feminine. For something that was supposed to be so natural to women, boy, did they have to keep trying to push it on me all the time. I didn't like much of it then, and I still don't. Included in being properly feminine was wearing nail polish, but only when it was red or pink. The only two acceptable female colors back then, apparently. I didn't really wear nail polish well into my 20s, when I started seeing that colors other than pink and red started to become available. I was so excited. So I'm trying to see past all of that social pressure to love pink and red again. This one is literally about me reclaiming colors for myself. I don't really want to buy a bunch of reds and pinks I don't like, but at the same time, I want to have a small clutch of pretties that I feel are perfectly what I want in a red or a pink. Right now, I'm being very picky about the pinks and reds I buy, and I have just a handful of each, but I do like the ones I have. The second aspect of this rule was the marketing fraudulent? This is a real problem in the nail polish space. I have literally no idea why brands try to do this. Just advertise your polish as it is. Even though people do love a trend, There is also a wide variety of nail polish tastes. Mine is heavily into the jelly and shimmer end of things. This means that artificially making your polish seem, say, more opaque than it actually is alienates me, who loves a jelly, and then I don't buy it. But it also angers the people who do buy it because it isn't opaque, which they were led to believe. Basically, everyone ends up unhappy. The same is true for the opposite as well, marketing acrylic as if it is a jelly, but I do think it's harder to accomplish this, though I have seen it a couple of times. I truly wish this wasn't a real thing. I feel the same about the color of a polish. Please stop color correcting polishes into colors that they are not. If you want to market or sell a polish that seems like that color, then just make that color. I definitely know the pain of a polish looking wrong on camera and either having to correct for that or just explain that something is wrong. But some of these cases are really egregious. I mean, Mooncat's lava lamp seems to be a fairly recent and obvious case of this. I didn't buy that particular polish, so I didn't get burned. But I also watched swatch videos of it first, so I had a better idea of the color. And that one never went on my wish list. I'm glad I didn't see the pictures on the website first and get fooled into buying it. That said, I did buy Cosmic Cowboy from the same collection, and it is very saturated and beautiful. No notes. It is a cherished part of my collection. Okay, for the third aspect of this rule, how do you know what sort of polish you might like, and how do you keep from limiting yourself artificially from buying a polish you might like? I don't implement any sort of like project polish ethos to my wearing habits. I wear what I want when the feeling takes me. I can tell what I like most by what I keep coming back to over and over again. With that in mind, I lean into those tendencies and buy more of that type of polish. However, I find my choice of flakies lacking currently, so I'm actively interested in buying more flaky polishes right now. My wish list will also change to reflect gaps in my collection. I'm also actively looking for whites and yellows because I don't naturally always think of those first when I'm looking through a website for polishes I like. And this will help me to get a better variety to reach for in the future. In this way, I try to keep in mind what I want, but also without any strict adherence to the idea of, I will never wear X. It's more the idea of, I just need to find the right X for me. So to recap, because I know this one was a bit weird, the rule, I don't buy polishes I will not wear, includes trying to reclaim some colors that were ruined for me, but with the knowledge that I need to be sure I love them, trying to keep from being catfished by disingenuous marketing, and by being aware of gaps in my nail polish collection I want to fill, but with polishes in that category I will actually like. I realize all of this is a bit nebulous, but my thought processes are just like this. Now for the next rule, a very concrete rule. I would like to preface this by saying that you need to know that I do like orange nail polish. Or I thought I did. Then I realized that what I was buying was actually pink nail polish, often with a red or a gold shimmer that would make it look orange. Yeah. So my rule is to look for actually orange nail polish. The amount of corally pinkish oranges I have is a little startling because it means that I have done this over and over again. I see an orange I like, I'm convinced it's orange, it shows up, and I realize I've done the exact same thing again. I've purchased a pink-based polish masquerading as an orange. Beware of cobalt, teal, greens, and periwinkles. I love them too much and buy too many of them. You might be asking, is this really a problem? Yes. My collection might be nothing but these 4 color categories if it were not for this particular rule. but I do want a wider variety of colors available to me than just these 4. This is just a reminder to myself that I'm particularly prone to buying these colors, and I just need to be especially careful of duping in these categories. There is a reason in my dupe section of the previous video I pulled cobalts and greens to demonstrate how I may or may not have duped myself. I have so many of these that it didn't take a lot of time or effort to pull those polishes. And the fact that the entire range of green has to be on there, I feel says something about me. Don't buy too many thermals. Probably not a rule most people need, but I do. I love a thermal. But I'm also aware that they have a shelf life. The most recent one I bought, I think, was in 2019, and it is still changing color. I do keep them in a cool, dark place. I have one from 2017 that also still changes. The shelf life of a thermal is variable, so I have some that died before I finished the bottle. If the bottle was nearly done or it died in a color I hated, I just threw them out. Otherwise, I can enjoy the thermal in its dead state. No one knows it was ever a thermal but me. I do keep my thermals separate from my other polishes so that I can clearly identify them because of their volatile lifespan. If they were mixed in with the other colors, I might not think to pull them in order to use them before they reach the end of their life. I have an addendum type of rule for that one, which is only ever buy bonkers thermals. What do I mean by this? I love a thermal that changes drastically. I don't generally want a thermal to change from, say, a light green to a medium green. I want it to change from, say, a red to a dark purple, or from a green to a red. I just want it to be completely out there. One type of thermal I'm on the fence about is the some color to black thermal. I love a black nail polish, and having a black nail polish and a thermal together is hard to resist, but I don't really need 18 iterations on this type of polish. I think right now I only have 2 that fall into this description, and I'm happy with that. Another rule I think might be a bit niche is that I have been consistently looking for a solar polish. Unfortunately, I haven't yet come upon one for me. There's something about the solar pigment that seems to always include like a reddish purple, and I'm just not into that tone of purple in general, so I'm on the lookout for a solar polish. We'll see what the future brings. The last rule is a bit of a weird one, but we've finally made it to the end. I love to make a naturalistic skittle that represents something from the natural world, but sometimes I think of a theme or an animal and I'm missing a crucial polish. I'll then go looking for an appropriate accompaniment to that skittle. So my last rule is to pick polishes that would complete a skittle. This also helps me to get out of my comfort zone of cobalts and greens and so on. For instance, I decided I wanted to look like a clownfish. A normal urge all adults surely must have. Unfortunately, I didn't have an orange that was suitable. Mine had the wrong tone. So I went looking for one and found a wildflower that I felt met my criterion. I think I've already shown it in my Goth Easter video. I believe it's called She's My Nemosis 2.0. Now I can look like a clownfish whenever I like. If this sounds silly, it is. And I like that it is. If you aren't having fun, why even bother? And those are my extra nail polish rules. I'm hoping it's obvious now why they were removed from the previous video and placed here in their own little video. Hopefully on the screen you're seeing a summary of what we talked about today, and that is my note to future self to put in that screenshot. I hope you've enjoyed looking at these other rules with me. As I say, they are so particular to me and my own personality that I can't imagine anyone else needing these rules or wanting these rules. But I feel like maybe we can laugh together about my propensities. And thank you for watching. I will see you in a future video. Please enjoy a clip of one of my animals being adorable, as per usual. I know, are you trying to tell me something? Hi, I know. You silly chippy, I don't have any.